Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Most tech conferences would charge you thousands upon thousands of dollars for the privilege to be inspired. Gnomedex, however, is only a couple hundred. And it delivers more bang for your buck, as it has been for the past 10 years. About to celebrate an anniversary of sorts here, August 19th through 21st in Seattle, Washington. I don't know what's going to be happening with the Gnomedex brand beyond that. I'm talking to a couple potential partners, looking for partners that might want to help me produce more events, not just here in Seattle, but beyond. Because Gnomedex is a confluence of influence, a tapestry of human circuitry. We're surrounded by technology, but it's becoming increasingly pervasive, impacting just about every part of our lives. And there are stories and discussions that usually get glossed over online. Gnomedex is an experience, and this is what past Gnomedexers would tell you. I am the only person to have attended all 10 Gnomedexes. The other person, who is a close second, is a geek who actually works on the assembly line at Kraft. She's been at 9 of the 10 Gnomedexes. She's a geek. She's passionate. We attract the hardcore geeks who just love technology and want to meet influencers, and we attract the influencers themselves. We even attract people who don't even realize that they're influencers. We find the influencers before they're influencers. That's Gnomedex. This singular experience. We just geek out over a few days' time and just enjoy ourselves. We relax and we open our minds to new experiences, new stories, and new connections. So, to put a finer point on it, the reason why I'm doing this video is because one of our partners, Eventbrite.com, they have happened to host our registration system since the year 2004. That's when they were known as Mollyguard. That's how long I've been using them. And this year they're really offering to drive more attention to Gnomedex, considering this is our 10th year. Their first question, what is Gnomedex? Typically has been a tech conference, but really it's an opportunity for you to explore a side of yourself that you don't always have the opportunity to explore. I mean, working at home or even inside a company where you're not always understood, where you realize that, you identify with this geek spirit. And imagine being with 300 other people and geeking out and being okay with geeking out, being yourself and being accepted. To talk about things that, are issues that are really on the forefront of our industry, the tech industry. We've pushed the envelope many years and have predicted several trends, going all the way back to 2001 when we were talking about blogs and RSS, long before anybody knew what they were. We've, had, landmark events take place on stage that are still being talked about to this day. Various announcements, but it boils down to the experiences that people carry with them, the energy that people have, with them, that they carry with them back to wherever they happen to be coming from, whether it's Seattle area or beyond. We've had people travel, from Europe, from Asia, from Australia, all around the world. They come for this event over and over and over again. How has the event evolved over its 10-year history? In the beginning, it was pretty simple. The ethos was still the same. Single track event. Treat everybody like a VIP. Have a fantastic time. Connect with one another and geek out. Still that way. I suppose if anything, the event has evolved to better facilitate that communication online. So we're live video streaming. We've got a nicer venue these days than we did back then. But we're still a very affordable conference. For what you get, most event operators would do half as much and charge you twice as much. So we've set the ticket price this year at $300, which for a 2.5 day experience ain't a lot of money. consider that most one-day events that would offer the same to you, and includes breakfast, lunch, snacks, that's unlimited beverages and munchies, Wi-Fi, a power strip, a dedicated seat, in the auditorium, the singular experience. Most of those events happen in one day and cost you more. So I'm trying my best to keep the cost low. Hopefully, we'll continue to find more sponsors, because believe me, we need them to help offset those costs. But over its 10-year history, I'm proud to say that in my eyes, it hasn't changed all that much. If anything, it's become a legitimate technology event that people really like talking about. To dovetail into the next question, what do you think sets it apart from other tech events? People come to Gnomedex because they want to go. They don't go because they're told to go. And I think that really sets it apart. A lot of industry events, you have to go. Why? Well, because we have to be there. We don't get that crowd, usually. It's the people who have either heard about it, they've been before, they know it's a good time, they watched it online the year before, they watched the videos, they know, I am setting the stage to inspire. So no matter your background, if you consider yourself a geek, great. If you don't consider yourself a geek, great. You're going to be inspired. You're going to take the stories, you're going to take what you hear on stage, and you are going to apply it to your life, your professional life, your personal life. We may further underscore your perspective on this world of ours that we share. We may give you an entirely new perspective. Either way, everybody, and I mean everybody, is treated like a VIP. And I really do believe that, if anything else, sets it apart from other events, beyond the other stuff that we give. Sometimes people wonder about the role of live events when we do so much online, especially tech events. Why is a live event still so effective? There's a lot of things I can do on my desktop, but inevitably my attention's split, left and right. I've got to take care of this task, this task, this task, this task, this task. At an event, you really have to focus on what's happening. You're meeting with someone face to face. Trying to explain something like by typing isn't the same as interacting with someone, because you can't ask questions, you can't read facial expressions and reactions. You can't have a shared experience and really felt like you were a part of something special. So yeah, I've watched events online, and I know that's like 10% of it. I cannot connect with the person sitting next to me online. I can't. But I may very well be sitting next to a powerful CEO or a media mogul, or someone who over the next year is going to do something that is going to hit the international stage. You never know. And those types of real world connections are solidified when you meet someone face to face. You just can't get that online. Because everybody's online. Everyone's trying to make those connections online. It's meeting someone face to face to see whether or not they're genuine, to get to know them. And I tell you, it'll happen again this year. We get jobs for people without even knowing. Developers, biz dev folks, we get them contracts, we get them jobs. We don't do anything other than making a great event for 10 years running. I can't wait to see what happens next year. I don't know what it's going to be. Depends on the partner, I guess. But the bottom line is, I don't think meet space, where we connect with each other in a physical capacity, is going to disappear. I think that's as much a part of the human circuitry idea as connecting, using the internet as I'm doing right now. How do you think the structure of the event served your goals? That's something conference organizers often struggle with. I've seen conference organizers have 17 different tracks. And yes, they get thousands upon thousands of people pouring in. I'm not into it, dude. I'd rather, keep it small and effective. I'd rather make 300 people happy than 3,000 people miserable. That's the bottom line. And, some people have equated it to very large conferences, very well-known brands, and said, you've done the same thing, or essentially the same thing, and you've charged a tenth of the price. And, I guess I value those connections. So to me, it serves my goals because I am about those connections. Someone's going to remember me. My legacy is going to far outlive the conference. to the point where some people want to host their own Gnomedexes in their own cities, and I'm up for it. I'm actually considering empowering event coordinators in other cities to do their own Gnomedex and kind of serve as a mentor or director of sorts, and actually help them, produce their own conferences, their own Gnomedex branded events. And I think it would only extend that idea of connecting people with one another and connecting them with ideas. That thrills me. So I keep it as simple as I can and as manageable as I can. And that's central to the theme of community. When you have two tracks, you're splitting energy. When you have one track, even if what's on stage isn't as exciting as you would hope it to be, everybody's having the same experience. And that is really something that, unless you've been to a single track event like that, you really don't understand it. You owe it to yourself to attend a single track event, if only because you don't have to fight, your way to a seat, or have to decide if you want to see this important person or this important person. It's all the same experience, and I value that, and it's that hasn't changed, and it never will. As far as Gnomedex is concerned, it just never will. How did you choose and secure the venue, and how will the space be set up? Well, I'm in the process of negotiating the venue. We've been there for the past 5 or 6 years. I have no, want, need, or desire to change it, but I got to make sure I meet the cost. It's part of the reason we've got to find more sponsors to help offset the cost, since I don't charge a lot for attendance. And for someone to say that, that's a lot of money, I dare you to find something of similar value for less money. You won't, because as I said, most conferences of this caliber charge more and give you less. And I've done my research. It's competitive analysis. I know what I'm talking about. And the people, it's okay. For the people who can't afford a $300 ticket, maybe they need to sit this one out. You kind of get a different quality of person when they pay a certain amount than you do when they walk in the door for free. Anybody can walk in for free, but when you show that level of commitment, you show that you're dedicated and you're passionate and you're ready to connect. You're ready to learn. You're there for an experience. And I can't do it for free. For what I provide, can't be done for free. And anybody who says otherwise has never produced an event. It's just known. I cut it as close to cost as I possibly can. Part of that is finding a good venue that's going to create that experience or help enhance the experience. And that's where we intend on doing it again. I'm just trying to get my costs lower in the negotiation process. So it'll happen. I'm just kind of crossing the T's and dotting the I's at this point. What's your approach to social media, not just during the event, but also before and after? Well, I've been doing social media, as has Gnomedex, pretty much from the beginning. I tell people, anything you see here can be published. Anything can be shared. I don't care. You own the event. You're creating the event. All we're doing here is setting the stage. So I approach it openly. Always have been, and I always will. I really don't mind. Just like people will record my live video feed and post it to YouTube. I don't care. I mean, sometimes I do. I mean, of course I'd hate for something to seem like something that it's not. But by and large, it's worked out well. Before the event, I've got a handful of organizers and volunteers who are helping engage. Actually, could always use more help in terms of people who are coming to Gnomedex in helping get the word out. That's as much a part of it, too. Because it's about the word of mouth advertising that's really brought Gnomedex to where it's been, having sold out for really the past 5 years. And I believe that we will sell out again. It's just I've done my best, and the community believes in it, and because of that, I want to do well in the eyes of the community, and I do give a lot back to the community, not just in nonprofit work, but in supporting community events in this city of Seattle and beyond. Social media club, ask Chris Hewer, got its start at Gnomedex. Gnomedex was its one of its first sponsors, paid sponsors. Brady Forrest started Ignite on his own, independent of Riley, and Gnomedex sponsored the first 3 or 4 paid sponsorship. I believe in supporting the community, and it's my hope that comes back to me. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes people forget, but that doesn't make it any different for me. I do believe that we're all in this together, and when I support others, I would hope that in return they would support the things that I would do. And social media very much plays a huge part of that. And I suppose this is social media too. It's at YouTube, and most of the people in my YouTube audience will likely never make the event. I have no doubt in my mind. I would love to do other events around the Gnomedex brand. I would love to do one just for kids. I would love to do one for young geeks at some point. That's part of my vision. I'd love to do them all around the world. I would love to do them for less money. It doesn't usually work that way because things cost money. People have to eat. People want wireless internet, and people want power, and people want a good experience. You just can't do it for free. If you do, you know what? You can pay for a free event. You pay $10 for an event, and if you want to be treated like cattle, fine. It's what you want. I don't treat people like cattle, and my event treats everybody like a VIP. And anybody who says otherwise never dealt with me and has never been to a Gnomedex. Read the blog posts. Read what people have said. Read the experiences. Gnomedex is a conference, but it's also beyond just a regular old event. It's a chance for you to learn, discover, to be inspired, and to surround yourself with people who are of like mind. So I'm really bad at teasing this. If one person signs up from this video, I guess I've done it. I've got some really cool speakers lined up, some cool experiences. Hope to be a little controversial this year as well. Appreciate any kind of sponsor leads that we can get. I wish it was a more ideal place and I could let everybody in for free, but I want to treat those who can make it as special as they are for making it. And some people I think in chat have been, and some have watched online, but to denounce the event and to write it off without having gone, I think is a little beyond rude, and I see that happening a lot. Speak from experience, because if you're not speaking from that, then really you're not coming from any position of authority. So I would hope that you would want to come. I have also instituted in a loose capacity the idea of a Seattle Geek Week. SeattleGeekWeek.com is going to be a series of events during that week, parties and different community events for geeks, by geeks. It's going to happen. So even if you're not interested in Gnomedex, if you're going to be in Seattle or you're in Seattle and you got an event going on, we'd love to promote it as a part of Seattle Geek Week. So I just want to throw that in there too as a little plug. An idea I came up with, I threw it out there, and people are already jumping aboard with the idea of a Seattle Geek Week. It's going to be interesting come that week of August, and I hope you join us. I really do. Whoever happens to be watching this, and please, if you do have the opportunity. For this Gnomedex may likely be the last of its kind this year. Don't know how it's going to roll, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll have more to report soon. Gnomedex.com for more information. We're also on Twitter at Gnomedex. We've got Facebook pages as well, linked from a variety of spots. I have to thank all of our partners as well, including Eventbrite, for giving us the opportunity. I don't know how much attention Eventbrite's going to drive. I mean, they're an event company. I've been using them for years and have helped them. Some of the features you see in Eventbrite are because of me, and they'll tell you the same thing. I've pushed for them. So if you used Eventbrite, chances are you've benefited from the knowledge that I've shared back with them, and I'm very appreciative of the work that they've done for communities that are looking to produce events. And I'm hoping that Eventbrite will drive a lot of registrations and potentially some sponsorship awareness. That would be helpful. Either way, my email address, chris@pirillo.com. Reach out. Don't be a stranger. And maybe I'll see you in Seattle, if not at another event somewhere else. Don't be someone who just watches me online. Interact. I'd love to meet people in person. It's those real-world connections that make it all worthwhile. So there you go. That's all I'm really going to say right now. My blog, chris.pirillo.com, and then, of course, youtube.com/Chris Pirillo, facebook.com/Chris Pirillo, twitter.com/Chris Pirillo. Feel free to follow me anywhere. I'm doing things and constantly trying to help others do the things that they want to do. And I guess that's what I do. I am myself, and this is my career, being me. So, you can catch me online if you'd like. I'm streaming my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, usually. And even if I'm not here, the chat room certainly is. Typically talking tech at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.